Hi guys, it's Joyce from Deer Creek Homesteading. Today I'm going to be doing frugal farm tips, but I just wanted to show you this real quick. I got to work today and apparently someone had cleaned out under the washer and dryer and left this pile of lint here. At first I was like, what the heck? And then I was like, oh, I can grab this and save it up and use it for fire starters. So this is just one frugal way that you can save money by making your own fire starters. I'll be back in a minute with the rest of the Frugal Farm tips. Thanks. So I just scooped it up, put it in a baggie, and look at there. That's probably enough to make 4 or 5 fire starters. So that's awesome, totally free. This is another thing I was going to cover, guys. This is our pop can flavored water collection we have at work. Anybody at work who has a drink, they know I like to save the bottles and cans. We have a box under our sink, and then once a month or so I collect them all up and take them back to the store. Each of these cans is a dime here in Michigan, so there's probably $3 worth of cans here, so free money. We stick that in savings. I'm going to cover that in my video when I go over the things for frugal farm saving. But anyway, that's what I wanted to show you. And then my boss and my friends also save their egg containers when they're done and give them to me so that when I sell my eggs, I have cartons to put them in. So there you go, more free stuff. Hi guys, this is just another little money saving tip I learned. It's kind of time consuming, but if you're just sitting there watching TV or hanging out, it's not that big of a deal. Where we're from, our turkey feed is cheaper than our quail feed, but the turkey feed comes in these like big pellets, and I found that my quail can't eat them very well. So this was an old coffee grinder I got. You just pour the pellets in the coffee grinder. You can't do this one-handed. Hold on, I'll be right back. Then you just turn the handle on the coffee grinder, and what comes out is a nice fine powder. I don't know if you can see that very well, but they can eat it way better. I just dump it into this cup. I fill the cup once a day. We give half in the morning, half at night, so they eat it way better. And just grind up these pellets in the coffee grinder. Turkey feed is cheaper than quail feed, and money saving tip. Talk to you soon. Thanks. I just wanted to show you guys kind of what I meant. I was in a hurry this morning and I fed the quails. These are those little pellets that I fed them. As you can see, they're having a hard time breaking them up, and this would usually be gone with that powdered food, and they go kind of crazy for a good 10-15 minutes eating their food, but they're not very interested in these pellets. So here is the ground up stuff, and you just see how happy it makes them. Okay guys, oh, make a liar out of me. Here you go, that's the good stuff. That's the good stuff. Okay woman, what were you trying to pull? There you go babies. So I just took an extra 5 minutes and ground it up for them so that they'd have some stuff to eat, and you have to pick up those hard pellets. Morning quail cam. Alright guys, have a good day. Happy Friday. Hi friends, it's Joyce from Deer Creek Homesteading. I'm going to try something new this Friday, and then every Friday for a couple of weeks. I'm calling it Frugal Farm Tip Fridays. So there's just a few things that I wrote down on things we do around our homestead, around the farm to save money. I'm sure a lot of you do the same thing, but if it's going to help anybody out, I'm going to go through my list, so I may be looking down, but let's start. I have about 20 on this list, and I'm going to start with maybe the top 5 or so, and then continue on with it next Friday. So the first tip is we make our own cleaning products for the most part. I make our own laundry detergent, and in a video I'm going to show you how I do that, but it's Arm & Hammer washing powder, Zote soap, borax, and then water, and you heat up the water to boiling, 5 gallons of water, and then you add those products and you stir it and it gels, and then just about the time it's cooled down, you add a cup full of liquid laundry detergent that kind of keeps it from separating. It kind of gels it, but I will make a video of that one day soon. And I also make my own all-purpose household cleaner. I use just Dawn dish soap, white vinegar, and water. Super safe to use around the house. I use it for almost all my cleaning. And all those products are super cheap and they last forever. So that's my first Frugal Friday tip. We make our own cleaning products and laundry detergent. Second one, oh, I also use that same household cleaner in my Swiffer. You can remove the top of the Swiffer jet pack where the liquid goes in and make your own cleaner for pennies compared to what you pay for in the store. I'll show you how to do that too. You have to heat up that cap to get it off, but then once you do, it comes off really easily. And instead of buying the wet jet sheets that you put on the bottom of the Swiffer, I just use some of my husband's old sweatpants. And since they're sweatpants and they're cut like that, I just cut sections out of the legs and kept them whole, so it's kind of like that, and it fits perfectly around that wet jet. Especially since it has like Velcro on there, it just kind of grabs onto that, and I can use them, reuse them, wash them. So I use my own jet spray and my own Swiffer pads that I make at home. Saves tons of money because that stuff is really expensive. The next one I do is for, and I've covered this in other videos, but for all of our animals except the quail, the rabbits, the chickens, is to repurpose and reuse anything you possibly can that they could eat. Feed is expensive, and it just makes sense to use stuff that's free. Where we're gonna have our garden next year, my neighbor put down a bunch of cow and horse manure, and so it grew like crazy there. Excuse me. And everything just took off and got really super thick, and I decided that would be the spot where I was going to pick the greens for the rabbits. And so when my husband mowed, he didn't mow that area, and so it's just a big patch of it's grass and clover and all kinds of good nutritious stuff. I just pick handfuls of that a day and give it to the rabbits along with their feed, and it just makes their feet go farther. They love it. It's great for them. When my husband mows the yard, I rake up grass, give it to the chickens, give it to the rabbits. Anything safe left over in our fridge, you know, when we get groceries and clear out the fridge, or anything we didn't finish and we're not going to take to our lunch the next day, goes in the chicken bucket. And we just use, you know, anything that we can to make that feed go further. My neighbor has a pear tree, and he shakes the pear tree. It knocks off the fruit that is ready to be, I don't know how it works, knocked off, because if they get too many pears on the tree, then the branches fall over. So he shakes it like once a week, and the pears fall to the ground. And he said whenever he does that, we can come over and grab the pears that fall. They're not ripe yet, they're green, but we put them in grocery bags and folded them up for, you know, a week or so. They got kind of soft. I used those to feed the chickens, and we got several, maybe 5, 6 grocery bags full of those pears, and they loved them. So I would throw them a couple, 3, 4 pears every day, and, you know, help stretch that. When I did the pumpkins, I give them the pumpkin guts. So anything you can use to make your animal feed go further, that'll save you some money. Let's see. Along those same lines, I save all my eggshells from the chickens and the quail. I kind of crumple it up over the top of their feed, and that gives them calcium and grit to help them with their egg production. You have to buy separately calcium and grit at the feed store to put in with your regular feed. So this way, I mean, it's just repurposing their own eggs, and they love them, and it helps with the grit and the calcium, so, and it's totally free. Let's see. Seed saving, which I have several videos out on seed saving. I can't remember them all. Sunflowers, beans, radishes, watermelon. I'm going to be doing basil soon. It's drying right now, but seed saving is huge. Those packets of seeds aren't super expensive, you know, a couple bucks, $3 a pack, but that all adds up, especially if you're going to have a big garden. So I try and seed save as much as possible to save money there. Going to go through maybe 2 more tips. Let's see. Obviously, going along that same line, growing your own food. We have meat rabbits and we have quail. We grow a huge garden. Well, this is our first year, but of course we'll do it again next year. I froze beans. We canned our own spaghetti sauce, our own salsa. So anything you can do along those lines will save you money, as long as your animal, whatever you decide, you know, milk, eggs, meat, any of that will save money. I'm gonna incubate the quail. My husband did send that incubator back that broke, and I'm supposed to be getting a new one. We'll see how that goes. But I would like to incubate the quail eggs and then raise those up for meat. So anything that you can do on your farm that's sustainable to feed you will definitely save you money. We kind of barter and trade off with our neighbors. That saves us money. It's good to know your neighbors, of course, in case you ever need any help or if anything, you know, goes wrong. But what we did was, the neighbor has cows and horses, and he wanted to take a couple weekends off this summer for a month and go camping, and asked if we'd take care of his animals and keep an eye on things while he was gone. Well, he took a cow to slaughter a week ago Thursday, and we wanted to buy a quarter of his beef, and he said, if you guys, you know, take care of the animals while we go on our vacation, we'll take some money off the meat. So of course it worked out for him, worked out for us. So anything you can barter or, you know, get free from your neighbor definitely helps save money. Our chickens weren't laying in the beginning of the year. They were too young, and our other neighbor down the road, he would just come once a week and, you know, give us a dozen eggs. So then when my chickens started laying, you know, I asked if he needed any eggs. So that saves money. Plus, it's just really good to have a good relationship with your neighbors. So the last two I'm going to cover today is composting. I did a video on that. We use all our food scraps and leftovers, any garden clippings, leaves, eggs, just no meat or dairy products. And we have a compost bin that is coming along so good. I just started the other day. We put the chicken manure, the rabbit manure, all in that bin, and I stir it up once a week or so, and it's going to be really rich, healthy soil that I can use in my garden and anything I want to pot next year, vegetables, flowers, anything like that. That stuff is just amazing to grow things in, and you don't have to buy potting soil or go, you know, to the store and buy dirt, and things just grow like crazy. If you're going to throw that stuff away anyways, you might as well reuse it and repurpose it for something that can help you out in the future. The last thing I'm going to share for today is I reuse any jars or containers that we might have. My husband calls me a hoarder, but he uses them too. So like empty spaghetti jars, that we have a plastic container that lunch meat comes in, and it has a top, and once the meat's gone, I wash it out real good and I use it, and we use it to take in our lunches. I freeze stuff in those glass jars. We have a soup-based bouillon container that's plastic, and I wash those out, and my husband puts any loose screws or nuts or any kind of basement garagey type automotive stuff in those containers to keep them organized. There's just so many things that you can do with those containers. I just try to keep them nice and neat in a box underneath the sink, and then when I need them, they're there. You've already used the product, you already paid for it, so the storage containers are now essentially free. So those are my tips for Frugal Farm Friday. So I would like to, in the next month or so, go through the rest of my tips. Please leave me your tips below. Ask me if you have any questions, and we'll continue this series. I hope you guys all have a great Friday. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. If you'd like to check us out on Facebook, it's Deer Creek Farm. Thank you, friends. Nice talking to you.